Show, hosted by Kyle Hunt.
I don't know if you guys have noticed yet as I bop my head to that, I got no dancing skills. In case you're wondering, I wonder if Kyle's got dancing skills. I don't. Welcome to the Remodeler Show. It's the Wednesday, August 26th, 2020 edition. Yesterday, on yesterday's show, I went through something that I posted the day prior about give me some advice on running a successful remodeling business. Just a ton of really, really good ideas. And then I tested my luck again yesterday and I said, hey, give me a benefit/perk that you offer your employees that they value. And we got a bunch of other good stuff today. And then I went back to the well one more time today and I posted on Remodelers Community. How did I word it? I worded it. Here we go. What's your markup? Or if you prefer, what's your margin? Share below and please be as specific as you can. So the last 3 days, we've just been having some grooving with Kyle. Rhonda, you probably got some dance moves. I don't. So we've been doing that the last few days, and I decided today to just focus in on today's show on give me a benefit/perk that you offer your employees that they value. If you haven't been on the Remodelers Community Board related to the markup stuff, feel free to kind of check that out. I'll maybe share a little bit of my thoughts on that topic on tomorrow's show or even later today. But this topic here, this give me a benefit/perk that you offer your employees that they value. Why is this something that is worthy of you as a remodeler to be thinking about, to be putting some time in? Why is it worthy of us to kind of focus the Remodeler Show today on this topic? Here's why. I know that your remodeling business will either sail or sink based on the quality and the excellence of your team. Yes, you can run a small remodeling business and do it all yourself. It's been done. It's being done by a lot of people. It's a lot of stinking work. You most likely started your business not so that you could work your face off and go through burnout, et cetera, et cetera. So we need to, as we build a business, we need to have a team around us. We need to, whether that's one person, 2, 3, 4, and especially in the environment today where it is an employee's market. It is not hard to find a job. It is very hard on the employer side to find quality people. We need to do a lot to make sure that our business is an enjoyable place to work, that we are taking excellent care of our team. And like so many things in business, it comes down to the little things. Yes, pay is important. Yes, hard benefits of, health insurance, et cetera, is important. But the little things of how we take care of our team is often what builds loyalty, what builds them feeling very supported and confident in their job, et cetera. So what I wanted to do, dude, either share my screen. Either my screen is crazy or your shirt is mad trippy. Well, Michael, I just saw on Facebook that you are spending today on the golf course, and I didn't look closely, but you might have already had a beer in your hand. I don't know. So maybe it's you. I don't know. I am wearing, I don't know. It's got stripes on it. So yeah, it's a little trippy. It's kind of odd. Piper, can you come here? No, she said no. Oh, remember when we were are you wearing a green screen shirt? People, would you like to change my shirt? If you'd like to vote, say yes or no. If it's too distracting, I will change my shirt. I happen to have another one of my shirts right here. Or if you're enjoying it, I will keep it on. Okay, Rhonda agrees with him. So anyways, before Michael distracted us, I was on a roll with setting up this topic today of give me a benefit/perk that you offer employees. So let's read a few of the responses and let me share some comments related to it. I think it might be the quality change, not the shirt. All right, I can still talk. I'm going to move my microphone over here. You can just look at my living room. We'll still keep today's show going, but I will change my shirt. Okay. So this topic of employee and taking great care of our employees. That's what we're going to talk about today. We have a new shirt on. I'm gonna move this back. I got my less trippy shirt on. Still fairly trippy. Speaking of shirts, speaking of swag, it's not the shirt. It might be that's better. That's not as trippy. I love getting swag in the mail. If you'd like to send a shirt, I'm actually a size large. You know I love hats. Feel free to. If you go to remodelyourmarketing.com, you'll find my address and you can send it. Okay, the people. Now, can we get to the real business at hand? Here's something that one of my clients, a long-time client of mine, former client, an existing client, John Leaguewater over on the west side of the state of Michigan. He was the first one to comment on this question, and he said a tool allowance. And we had somebody else, and I'm just going to kind of scroll down here. I tried to print this out, but my printer wasn't working, unfortunately. But we had another comment about the tool side of things. My apologies. I thought I had it. Here it is. Ron Lowe said, we offer our carpenters 20% on any tool that they purchase. They usually couple it with Home Depot, so 11% Home Depot, and it ends up saving them 31%. We feel it works to our advantage because the new tools are used on 95% of the time anyways. So I thought that was kind of an interesting thought. If you have your team use their own tools versus you providing all of those tools, that's an employee perk to kind of consider and to look at. Ronnie said, emergency personal loans at no interest with weekly payments deducted from their paycheck. So the idea here of taking care of our team, that gives me a little bit of worry of thinking emergency personal loans. There is convenience in that being deducted from the paycheck. But that definitely, Ronnie, I'm sure makes your team feel very supported, that you care about them. I hate the idea of kind of some of our team being in debt to us, but maybe there is a time and a place for doing something like that. This idea of what's a benefit perk that you can offer your employees. My goal, by the way, the goal here is maybe you're going to hear something that you say, you know what, I really like that idea. Or, we used to kind of consider doing that. Maybe we should reevaluate it. The goal here would be for you to hear something that you implement into your business that enhances what you're offering your employees. And by covering, a good set of them here, chances are we're going to run into one that you're confident in. The shirt's all cockeyed now. I'm not comfortable anymore. Thanks a lot, guys, for making me change my shirt. I shared this one, a paid day off on their birthday. This came from Anthony Slayball with Anthony Slayball Design and Remodeling. He was on a Remodeler Circle mastermind call a couple months ago, and he said, hey guys, here's an idea that I heard from a business buddy of mine where they just have a paid day off on their birthday. Michael, who might still be watching this in between his golf swings, added to it of saying, we'll give you a paid day off, but the caveat is you have to spend that day doing something you enjoy. That's cool. I like the idea so much that I texted Bailey right after I heard the idea from Anthony. I said, when's your birthday? It's like December 27th or 28th or somewhere in there. I could look on my calendar because I've been in the habit now of making a recurring calendar appointment at 7 a.m. for my clients' birthdays and people's birthdays. So I'm reminded there. But Bailey's birthday was in that week between Christmas and New Year's. And I'm like, well, you already have time off there. So we're doing at the 6-month mark, halfway through your half birthday, she's going to get a paid day off. I think that is well worth the investment I'm going to make in that. That's going to cost me some money. It's going to cost me some production. I'm going to give up some production, but it's also going to be something that she's going to look forward to. It's something that's fun. It makes working at Remodel Your Marketing a more enjoyable experience. So we've got to continue to think about those things. How can we make working at your business a more enjoyable experience? You don't want to give away the farm. We still got to be smart. But that might be something that is a little thing that goes a long ways. The thing that Anthony said about it is he did what I did, which was like immediately he heard the idea and he immediately sent a note and an email to his team that says, new company policy, you get a paid day off on your birthday. And his feedback to us was, guys, it was like I just gave them $100,000. They were so excited. How often do we do things and do little perks, give a little bonus here or there, and you're met with this less than desired response, this not very much energy behind it, not even hardly sometimes a thank you when you cut a bonus check, so it's not always about the money. Something like that could be something that that would be a benefit. What are some of the comments we've got going here? Mine is December 11th. Oh, Bailey says, I love that perk. Good. All right. Cool. And I'm just going to go look at these in a little different way. There we go. All right. So that was a couple ideas. Let's keep on going. What are company perks, employee perks? For the guys, gals that hunt, we give opening day paid off. This is Zane, paid off, and if it falls during a weekday. Otherwise, tool bonuses seem to work out the best. He also added, we have vacation pay, personal paid days off, and a simple IRA match. So we've got several things there. One, a good number of his team are hunters, and November's coming, most likely is when they do it. You know, to recognize that and to give them a paid day off is a really nice perk, and it's a little personalized, right? You get to part of this whole idea of what's valuable to your team, what should I do, has to do a lot with who your team is and what they value. So that's something to kind of consider. Another thing to kind of consider in all of it, you're hearing ideas here, but another thing to consider is ask your team, what would they value? What would they value? I'll give you another example from a couple of weeks ago. This is in one of my other Remodeler Circle groups. And the question they asked was, we're trying to figure out the best format for a quarterly bonus or a bonus that kind of ties in with the results in the job. If we brought that job in more profitable than what we were expecting, we want to give a bonus that's tied to that. I have yet in my 12 years of coaching remodelers found a nice, clean, beautiful, this is the way we should do a bonus. There are pros and cons. There are, a lot of things that make sense. And then you start to ask some questions of like, okay, so if we reward them when they do better on that job, are we also going to unreward them when they make a mistake that ends up costing us more? It's a tricky thing. The problem was in this case, as we dug into it, is that he determined that the way to motivate his team to be more efficient and productive, the way was to bonus them money. And as we talked more about it and how he arrived at that, we started talking about, how are you doing with just giving them some attaboys, recognizing when they go above and beyond? Are you saying thank you? Are you showing appreciation? What if they would much prefer some additional paid time off than a bonus check? What if they would value, a $250 gift card to get some new Red Wing boots versus money, right? Some of these things have more pop to them and more value to your employees than others. So that's something that you should consider as you evaluate what you're offering, company, employee perks that you're offering, benefits that you're offering. Talk to your team about it. What do they value? And make sure that you're thinking through that. Garen said, I pay for lunch on Fridays. And before COVID, we would go out as a team, and it might be an hour or so, great team building, et cetera, an employee perk, right? They have something to look forward to on Fridays. They get a little break. Yes, you're paying them for that time. You're paying for, lunch. But that last part that you said, Garrett, of great team building and et cetera, that comes from that, right? Relationship building, showing your value, showing them they're valued. That's huge. Is that worth more than cash? Is that worth more than fill in the blank, right? Get to know your team. You don't unreward people too focused on money. Yeah. Yes. But there's, we think of this whole bonus structure and how it works, and we look at pros and cons, and there's no just perfect way to do that. What you're saying there of too focused on money is kind of what I'm getting at here. It's not always about the money. There's so many more things that your team values. Make sure you're asking them. Make sure you're seeing what works. Make sure you're seeing what makes them perk up and spark up. Oh, we got some people. Rob says, I gave full free medical insurance to all employees. They didn't care because their wives already had them all covered. I said, okay, how about a raise? Sure, was the response. Right. That to me is a little bit of one. You thought it was a tremendous value to them, and there's really not a lot of value because they're already covered. And then two, that tepid, underappreciated. Sure, that sounds good, right? And you're sitting there going, man, I'm trying here to give them, great benefits and this and that. And oftentimes, we offer that and we just get this tepid, yeah, thanks, appreciate it. More happiness is generated by giving away $100 than getting $100 to spend on yourself. Oh, there's another little wrinkle. I see this with some of my clients when it comes to a referral program. Some of my clients, when somebody refers them a project that turns into a paying project, some of my clients have this thing where they offer $100 dinner gift certificate. Actually, here's what several of them do. They offer a $100 dinner gift certificate to a nice restaurant, or they offer $150 that person can donate to the charity of their choice. So we're doing two things there. One, we're giving them more if they choose to give it to a charity. And we're also giving them the choice. It's always very interesting to see what they choose. But Michael, what you're getting at there is a bonus for your team that ties in with them getting to support something and a cause that they care about. Interesting, right? Getting to know your team. Bailey says, a really great boss once gave me 3 copies of my favorite book to give away. It was very thoughtful and fun to share. Oh, I think she's talking about me, right? I do weird things. I've done a lot of weird things as far as like little perks and whatnot. But yes, in that case, I know Bailey. I know my team. That's part of this whole conversation. Know your team and what they care about. Surprise them, delight them. That's what builds that camaraderie and that loyalty. And I did do that. A really great boss, she says. Okay, let's keep going. So we're 15, 18 minutes in. We're just focused on give me a benefit / perk that you offer your employees that they value. Again, why is this important? Your business sales or sinks based on the quality of your team. Just as important as adding to your team and finding new team members that can help you continue to grow and build your business, you need to retain the talent you have. You need to make sure it is an excellent place to work. You need to be creative with how you put a package together for them that is valuable to them, that they love, that they appreciate. Okay, so let's keep going with some of these. 3% company match through a simple IRA. This has been coming up more and more in my client calls. There's a lot of people that work for you, and you also, I'm speaking to some of you directly, that you need to be taking retirement more seriously. We get to that in the 40s and then we're in the 50s, and all of a sudden your teammates who have been working their face off, by the way, guys and gals that are working on the field are putting their bodies through so much, right? They're working. There's as the years go on, their bodies give way. It does, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. And if they're not being thoughtful and purposeful about setting aside money and putting some money in retirement, they're left as a 64-year-old still needing to work with no real clear plan in place of when they could slow down or focus on other things. And that's a real thing. And you care about your team. So when I look at the simple IRA side of things and the 3% company match, or even more than that, more than anything, yes, it's a benefit and it's helping them build for retirement, but it's also teaching them and educating them and pushing them towards a direction that you want them to go, which is, I want my 35-year-old, I want my 25-year-old, I want my 42-year-old employees to be saving for retirement because it's good for them and it's helpful for them. And sometimes you have to push and guide and incentivize them with maybe a company match to move towards that. So I'm seeing more and more of my clients do that from a business standpoint. It's not an expensive benefit, but it's a very solid, powerful benefit. It's a great thing to have in your job postings that you offer that. So if you're not offering that right now, I see multiple reasons why that's just a really nice benefit to be offering your team. Spencer Paget said, unlimited vacation days. Get your job done, cover any gaps while you're gone, take time off for the benefit of your team and our customers. All right, so there's some caveats in there, right? You got to get your job done. You got to cover gaps when you're done, but a little bit of this unlimited PTO, paid time off. It's intriguing to learn a little bit more about. Andrea Richardson said, rollover HSA accounts. You don't have to use it all up in 1 year and they accrue it. So health savings accounts, if they have a high deductible or just another health insurance account, we can set up these HSAs. HSAs are about the most beautiful investment you can have, where there's an immediate tax deduction. Any increase in value, is tax-free. It's kind of a triple whammy of benefits there. So to look at an HSA account is something maybe to consider. Good. Garen said sort of related, but I give my PMs a stack of food gift cards to hand out at their discretion to laborers, subs, when they see them going the extra mile. Again, builds community with the whole team, including our trade partners. People, if you don't do that, even if it's a $10 card, $15 card, $20 card, that's just going to spark somebody's day. And what a cool idea to give it to your project manager and allow them to divvy it out as they see fit, as they see people going the extra mile. It's fun, shows you care. It's not super expensive. It's kind of neat, right? Or you got a $40 gift card and all of a sudden that guy says, hey, honey, I got a $40 gift card today because they recognize this or that. And they go out and have some Jimmy John's. They go out to Chipotle. They go out to, Panera and just pop that down. They're going to think of you. They're going to remember you. I love that. Michael says, awesome idea. Michael, are you golfing right now? Are you golfing and participating in the Remodeler Show? I'm impressed. All right. Patrick Long. I wanted to read several of these. There's a bunch of good ones here. So Patrick's part of Remodelers community. I got to know him a few years ago. I haven't talked to him in a while. Hi, Patrick. But he does a lot of work related to recruiting employees for contractors. And here's some things that are uncommon benefits that he's seen. Free haircuts. I don't really know how that works unless you have like a barber come. I don't know. On-site gym or paid gym membership. Paul McManus commented on that one. Gym membership and PT, physical therapy sessions for my project manager. He's really enjoyed it. And of course, he feels better and is healthier. As long as he goes to classes 3 days a week, the company will pay for it. We just started, so that ties in with that. On-site, off-site gym membership. It kind of ties in with that retirement. You want them to be healthy in retirement, which means you're gonna push them to participate in the 3% company match. By the way, if you offer a 3% company match and you have people on your team that aren't taking it, I think it's wise for you to educate them on it. Continue to revisit that every so often. Say, I just feel like there's money being left on the table, some free company match. How can we help you, take 3% of your salary and put it towards that? Or when you divvy out a raise, maybe you encourage them to do that at that point. But I also love the fact that Paul is helping his project manager be healthier. It's actually making him a better employee too, but it's also showing that the care. Patrick also shared on-site and paid daycare, financial wellness training or coaching. Think Dave Ramsey. What a cool idea. Hey guys, we've got a local Dave Ramsey coach that's just going to come and talk about personal budgeting, talk about retirement, talk about financial wellness. And we're going to do that from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock on Thursday. Let's get off our job sites a little bit early. And I'd love for you to all participate in it. What a great idea. Sports tickets to employees' favorite team as a performance bonus. Again, personalized. They're going to remember that way more than that $200 little bonus that's kind of tied in with their paycheck that they really don't feel or experience very much. Ultimately, the most valuable thing you can give your employees are your time and respect. Get to know them personally. What do they like? What are they trying to accomplish in their life? Build your perks around that. Several things I've already mentioned during this little time that kind of ties in with that, right? Personalize it. Think about your team. All right, that's some good stuff. It's just some good stuff. As I pulled out of a site visit one time, I stopped an ice cream truck and I gave him $20 and they told him to go to my job site and give them free treats. I was the hero that day. They still talk about that simple gesture, right, Rob? Rob, that's weird, right? It's weird. It's a weird thing to do. Weird is memorable. Different is memorable. Right? Be weird like that. The more times you do that, it's fun. I don't care if you're a 48-year-old man with a big old beard and you're just a stud carpenter. You're going to get excited when you see that ice cream truck pull up. You're going to act like an 8-year-old. Stop it. You know you will, right? They still talk about that simple gesture, right? They hear the ice cream shop and they think of Rob Bauer because of that thing he did, right? Be weird like that. It's fun. Golf was yesterday. Okay. We're also planning a gym and treadmill desk stations at our new design center expansion. Very cool. Right. Very cool. All right, let's see what else we got in here. Michael said if their birthday falls, I think we hit on this a little bit, falls on a work weekday, they get it as an extra paid time off with the caveat they must do something that they enjoy. I love that caveat. I don't know. He said credit goes to Governor Elmer Anderson. I don't know who Governor Elmer Anderson goes, but I commented on that. I said, good old Governor Elmer. All right. Paul was mentioning we're going to move to a 4-day work week next year. Derek Anderson commented, hi, Derek. This topic came up with a friend of mine who owns a similar type company. His HVAC guy does that same thing already. There's a lot of remodelers, contractors that do that. It makes for some long days. Those are 10 hour plus days on Monday through Thursday. But talk about quality of life, work-life balance. These 3-day weekends. All of a sudden, being a little bit more productive on those days because we know we only have 4 days. It's something to ask your team about. It's something to consider. The other thing that I've heard from some of my clients who do that is they really enjoy their Fridays. They feel like they have a lot more time to just work on the business, to catch up in the office because there's not those activities going on out in the field. So that's a big one. That is a company perk. It's very much a system and a process change, but it's something to very much consider. Good. Tate said, for some, I pay their drive time to the job, kind of a fixed amount, especially for some of his team that's a ways away. I take my 5 people. I said people. He said, let me say what he said. I take my 5 peeps, P-E-E-P-S, also known as the worst Easter time-ish treat. Those peeps, those are terrible. I take my 5 peeps out to lunch every Thursday for a 2-hour company lunch meeting, paying for the lunch and the 2 hours as work time. Good. And I bet you that ties back in with what Garen said of, that builds team camaraderie and loyalty. Rick Goldstein said something that several of my clients have embraced here the last few years. We close the company between Christmas and New Year's Day. We pay our team for this time off. I've had 2 clients who used to give out company bonuses, kind of end of the year bonus, and now they are just offering a paid week off between Christmas and New Year's. The team enjoys it. The team's families are enjoying it more and more. They were already paying for that. That week is something that, just like on a 4-day week I was talking about, you're able to kind of step back and there's not a lot going on that week. Frankly, a lot of your clients don't want you there anyways, right? So that's one that a lot of people I've seen kind of embrace here recently. All right, very nice. So let's clear out a few more here. I think there's a couple more that are worthy of consideration. Ron Lowe mentioned this. We give out Christmas bonuses. I liked what he said at the end of this. We give out Christmas bonuses of approximately 2% of gross. 2% of their gross income, what they brought in their paycheck, 2% of the employee's gross. This equates to anywhere from $600 to $1,500. We feel the percentage method rewards long, hard hours for the year. That part was interesting to me and kind of a fresh thought of going, you know what? If you earned $60,000 this year, you're going to get a little bit more of a bonus than the guy that earned 50. Now that could just be flat out, you pay them less per hour, but there's also built into that, when you put in that time and a half, when you put in some overtime, when you're hustling, you're also getting a little bit more rewarded at the end of the year. I thought that was kind of interesting. Mike Medford said 3% company match on a quarterly bonus based on company profitability and an explanation on how company profits work. Paul Potempa, hi Paul, said fuel, t-shirts, hats, hoodies, winter coats and gloves, sometimes snow boots. Outfitting our team is a nice little perk that people can get. All right, excellent. Calvin and Hobbes. What is Rob talking about with Calvin and Hobbes? What did I mention? I don't get that one, Rob, but fill me in. Cool. So what we did today on the Remodeler Show is focus on a specific topic of give me a benefit / perk that you offer your employees that have value. We have no less than 10, 12, 15 comments that added to the conversation. And it was all of your comments that you guys left yesterday, this topic, that have made this valuable. My little bow here at the end to tie this together, again, I'll say it, is that your team is incredibly valuable to your business, whether they are in-house employees, whether they are, now I'm going to have to go grab that book. Hang on one second. We'll close out with that. Whether they are in-house employees, whether they are your trade partners, they are your most valuable asset. The remodelers I see that are kicking butt, taking names, a huge percentage of them have taken the time and put in the effort and gone through people and added new people and have worked to make their businesses enjoyable places to work. And that is something that just you always need to be thinking about. How do I continue to improve my team? How do I continue to make this a great place to work? Okay. And we'll close out because Rob is like, oh, was it Calvin and Hobbes? The favorite book? What was Bailey's favorite book that you gave her? Identity Theft Protection. Sam's Club membership. Interesting. Lots of cool ideas. Get to know your people and load up and create your perks around that. The other thing that some of these random ones do, and like, oh, I did it here, I did it there. It also makes it so that you're not locking in a higher and higher and higher just pay rates, right? You kind of surprise them with certain things. If things are going well, you can do a little bit more. When things are a little lean, you might pull back a little bit. But you have the opportunity to do that. All right, let me go grab this book. You never know what you're going to get on the Remodeler Show. Bailey's the one that posted about the book thing. I've been meaning to open this. You guys have made me change my shirt today. We open this box. This is the book that she loves. It's called Every Moment Holy. Every Moment Holy. This tells you a lot about Bailey and I. I'll explain what this is and why I have a box of it. So whether you're friends with me, if you're friends with me on Facebook since July 19th, which is going on like 5 or 6 weeks, I have been posting a daily devotional. I'm a man of faith, and I have seen there's just so much crap out there, news out there, depressing stuff out there, arguing, political this, and we need to be informed. We need to be aware of what's going on, but we are inundated with an onslaught of negativity. And as a man of faith and somebody that teaches the Bible and involved in my church and is somebody that likes to encourage and help, I have been doing a daily devotional. So I have the box of these because I quoted from Every Moment Holy on one of my posts, and I posted on there. I said, if you would like a copy of this book, let me know. My wife and I love to gift this. And I had like 10 people request it. So I bought a bunch of these books, and I've yet to get them mailed out because it takes time to do that. But it's super interesting where it's taking this word liturgy, which is kind of an old churchy word, and applying it to a lot of different facets of our lives. So there is a liturgy for those who employ others. Kind of interesting that we're talking about employing others. There's a liturgy for home repairs. When your faucet breaks and you read that, there's liturgies on beekeeping, on just a bunch of everyday things, and it's very much focused on the gospel message, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful book. So that's the book. It's not Calvin and Hobbes. Author of the book, Rob, is McKelvey, McKelvey. But if you type in Every Moment Holy, there's a Christian singer, songwriter, artist that my wife and I love named Andrew Peterson. And he has an organization down in Nashville where he takes all of these Christian artists, people that are poets and singers and songwriters and artists, and he kind of, it's just a group of them. So it kind of came out of that. Yeah, cool. All right, so you never know what you're going to get with the Remodeler Show. I hope you have a takeaway or two from today's show. I bet you tomorrow I'm going to dig into this topic that I'm asking on the Remodelers Community Board today, which is about markup and margin and what that is. I think we'll get into that tomorrow. On Friday, I have a guest coming in. We're going to talk about some sales and some follow-up stuff, and I'm looking forward to that. Till tomorrow. Catch you all later.